Joe Big Guy Biden confirmed. Joe's thesis: America has failed. Record Trump enthusiasm and some advice for tonight's debate. Let's get right to it. This is Steve Elliott with today's VIP briefing. Thank you so much for being a VIP. If you're receiving this on special invitation, let me encourage you to become a VIP. Let's get right to today's briefing. The big news, which you won't hear about on CNN or the flyover media, is that there's more breaking news about the Hunter, the Biden, and the Biden crime family story. A business partner has confirmed Hunter's emails are legitimate. And this is absolutely significant because despite all the evidence that this is actually Hunter Biden's laptop that he left at a Mac repair store with his signature on the work order, with thousands of pictures, tens of thousands of emails being validated by third parties, the left is still saying this is all just one giant Russian conspiracy. So late yesterday, another person came forward, and it's pertaining to one of the key emails that have been released so far. In this email, it says, at that moment, there was a provisional agreement that the equity will be distributed as follows: 20 for H, then 20 for RW, 20 for JG, 20 for TB, and then at the bottom it says 10 held by H for the big guy. Well, who's the big guy? Well, in that email thread was a man named Tony Bobulinski, who yesterday released a statement. You can find it in your Grassfire News Digest for today. You can read it for yourself. In that statement, Mr. Bobulinski says the reference to the big guy in the much publicized May 13, 2017 email is in fact a reference to Joe Biden. Hunter Biden called his dad the big guy, or my chairman, and frequently referenced asking him for his sign-off or advice on various potential deals that we were discussing. So now we have one of the people who's in the email thread itself is confirming the validity of the email, and not only that, but also that Joe Biden is the big guy who is going to get 10%. Now, why is this significant? Well, for a lot of reasons, most notably that Joe Biden has continued to say that he had no discussions even with his son about his son's business dealings and has no involvement in this. So Joe Biden is, if this is correct, is proven to be a liar. So all that needs to be asked is, ask Joe Biden tonight during the debate, do you deny that those are Hunter Biden's emails? And who is the big guy? And maybe we need to ask Hunter Biden as well. But probably more significant than even the Hunter Biden emails and the Biden crime family is Joe Biden's posture toward America, toward our country. Just yesterday, he tweeted this proudly, and as part of a tweet in which included a clip from a radio interview, an audio interview that he did. America was an idea. We've never lived up to it, but we've never walked away from it before. It was an idea. This is significant. He says it was an idea, and we've never lived up to it. This is part of the Hate America First campaign that Joe Biden and the radical left, the Marxist left, is a part of. They want to date American history back to not 1776 or 1787 or 1789, to 1619, when the first slaves came over. And they are saying most of American history is not legitimate, that that's actually where we need to date American history, because we need to date it with the failure of slavery, and that's really the heritage of our country. The reaction has been strong against this because I think this is the seminal issue of this entire presidential race. It's not even COVID-19. It's not the lockdown and the shutdown. All those are all huge factors. The economy is a huge factor as well. It's hate America or defend America. Those are the two things. Now, this is why we have 75,000 people this past weekend showed up in Miami for a car parade that lasted for hours upon hours upon hours. And thousands of Latinos participated in this parade, waving Trump flags and American flags because they are defending America's greatness. Trump wasn't there. Pence wasn't there. These are just people who rallied. 75,000 cars in Miami rallied. And look what's happening in Iowa. We've got a report out of Iowa. This is from an observer there. You've seen the boat parades. Well, I've been to 6. I've been to 3 tractor parades. And I've been to a golf cart parade. And now there's communities all over the state, all over rural Iowa, every night. And I can't even keep up with them. I mean, every single night. It is absolutely unreal. They're seeing levels of enthusiasm and support that Trump has never seen, that we have not seen for years in American political history. This is last night's Trump rally, 20,000 people in Pennsylvania again. The president, to hear President Trump, he speaks for another hour-long speech. Just enthusiasm upon enthusiasm and upon enthusiasm, because the issue is defending America's greatness. The issue is, do you love America or do you hate America? Do you think America is tragically flawed, as Joe Biden repeated yesterday, reiterated the Marxist line of thinking about our country? Or do you think America is a great country that needs to be defended? Grassfire, we produced kind of a coffee table book featuring President Trump's speech at Mount Rushmore on July 3rd. I think it's one of the 2 or 3 seminal speeches he's given during his presidency. The first being his inaugural address, in which he explained his America First, pardon me, that's my phone, his America First campaign. But this was where he was in the middle, America was in the middle of all the chaos regarding the radical Marxist agenda and the rioting in the streets. And he stood up and defended America's greatness in what I thought was an incredible speech. We've got a copy of that for you if you want to get it. If you can help Grassfire, go to grassfire.com. I'd like you to have a copy of this, because this is the speech that I think was that set the stage for the rest of the president's run to his second term, which I think is going to happen in 12 days. So I want to close with just a little bit of debate advice for the president as he goes head-to-head in a critical debate tonight with former Vice President Biden. Just 3 things the president should do, 3 things he shouldn't do. Actually, I'm not going to do that. In fact, my only advice to the president is just be Trump. Be President Trump. Trust your instincts. It's what's gotten you this far. It's what's guided you since you came down the escalator and announced your campaign and immediately lit a fire, a grassroots fire across this country. It's why 75,000 cars and trucks rallied in Miami when you weren't even there. It's why they're having record enthusiasm in Iowa with boat parades and tractor parades. It's why 20 to 30,000 people are showing up every time you make an appearance. It's why you're in this race, and it's why you're fighting. So just be yourself and don't listen to anybody else. Trust your instincts. It's probably what you're going to do anyways. It's critically important. And I'm reminded of the great Teddy Roosevelt quote, one of the most famous quotes from one of our great presidents. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. And that quote finishes with, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat. That is America. That's the America we're fighting for. That's why so many people are coming out and supporting President Trump and waving flags and joining boat parades and car parades and showing up at rallies 6 hours early, because we believe in America's greatness, and we're going to defend it. We're going to take a stand. It's happening. The polls are showing it. They're narrowing. They're tightening. The president is now showing ahead in many of the key swing states, because this grassroots movement is real and it's happening. Thank you so much for being a Grassfire VIP. We certainly need your help, even in these final 12 days before the election, to help us reach 1 million people or more every single day. If you're not a VIP, would you consider becoming a VIP? Go to grassfire.com/VIP and help us out. This is a critical time. It's a time to stand. It's about the greatness of our country and defending that greatness every single day. Thank you so much. This is Steve Elliott with Grassfire.